The new Discharge MPage is designed to replace the use of Depart and will apply to all inpatients across Barnet and Chase Farm hospitals. This change will not apply to maternity, ED, day case or outpatient departments, who should continue using Depart to complete discharge summaries. This video will cover the process of completing a new discharge summary. This includes accessing the new Discharge MPage, prescribing TTA medication, completing a clinical summary, and amending a TTA. So let's begin with the patient record open in PowerChart. To start, make sure the clinical workflow is highlighted on the left menu bar. If not already available, click the plus button to add two new views, TTA Meds and Discharge. The two are separated to allow for flexibility in the order they are completed. We suggest doing the TTA Meds first, so they can be processed by pharmacy while you are writing the rest of the discharge summary. Click on the TTA Meds tab. The patient's allergies are displayed. In the Discharge Medication section, click Discharge to bring up the prescribing window. On the left are inpatient and drug history medications. To add a drug to the TTA, click the Pill Pot Radio button next to the inpatient version with the hospital icon. Do not use the green play button. This column is obsolete and can cause errors. The medicine appears on the right-hand side as a discharge prescription. Click the prescription. Complete the mandatory fields. Repeat the process for the remainder of the medicines. Changes made to medicines must be documented. Comparing the drug history ramipril with the inpatient ramipril, we can see the dose has been increased. Enter a reason for the dose change. Under the Home Medications header are drugs the patient was on before admission but not currently prescribed as an inpatient. The stop button can be used on the drug history medication to document that ranitidine was stopped during admission. Please include a reason for stopping any regular medicines in the written part of the discharge summary. This is the only circumstance in which the stop button should be used, if a medicine the patient was on before arriving to hospital has been intentionally stopped. Do not use the stop button for any other orders. Additional medication can be prescribed by clicking Add. Tramadol is added. The mandatory fields are completed and an indication is given. Click Sign to finish. The TTA medication list will display. Once you have finished the TTA medication and want to finalise the prescription, click on TTA Medication List. This creates a TTA document. This will show patient demographics and the meds list. It indicates it is awaiting a pharmacy review here. Sign this off by clicking Sign Submit to say you're happy with the content. Creating the TTA document will notify pharmacy that the discharge medications have been finalised. If a CD has been prescribed, find the TTA Meds document and click Print. An FY2 or above will need to physically sign it and give the signed copy to a member of pharmacy. The Discharge MPage is a living document designed for multiple contributions by the MDT throughout the patient's stay. The document will be finalised to the patient's record by the nurse at the point of discharge. The page is divided into sections which are listed on the left bar. The order of these can be customised to your liking. The red asterisk indicates a mandatory section. These must be completed before the discharge summary can be finalised. COVID status, problem list and discharge summary completed by are specifically for doctors to complete. Let's go through an example. The first section is Documents, which allows easy access to the patient's clinical notes. Filters are used to quickly find relevant information. Click on a document to open a preview. Information can be directly copy and pasted into the clinical summary box using the shortcut Ctrl-C to copy and Ctrl-V to paste. Laboratory results are viewed here. We will go through how to include these in the discharge summary shortly. Diagnostics will show a list of imaging reports if available, the contents of which can also be copy and pasted into the clinical summary. The nursing discharge checklist is a final check for the nurse to complete before the patient is discharged. The COVID status is the first mandatory section. Click plus and complete the COVID discharge information form, which will pull onto the discharge summary document. The problem list is the next mandatory section. The discharge diagnosis and at least one chronic problem must be documented. If no chronic problems exist, click No Chronic Problems. Add a discharge diagnosis by using the search box. Alternatively, if an inpatient diagnosis has already been documented, click the diagnosis, click Modify, and change its type to Discharge. Histories display any documented problems, procedures, family or social history for information. The clinical summary section is used to compose the main body of the discharge summary. Information can be typed or pasted into this box. If a different MPage has been used to create a clinical note during the admission, the information will flow across to the discharge. For example, this information already appears here, as it has been pulled from the admission MPage. You can add to it, modify it, or rewrite it. Click Save. This will automatically save after 10 seconds if you forget. The next component is for members of the MDT to contribute written information. The information given and social context are further free text boxes to add information to. Investigation and results can be used to bring in recent lab results. To do this, you can use predefined auto text. Type _lab and select an option as appropriate. Information can be removed if necessary. Text from diagnostic reports can also be copy and pasted from the report itself into this field. Any plan and actions are entered here. Advanced care plan details can be documented here. Special requirements, patient carer concerns, and donation information can also be included if necessary. If any of these free text sections are left empty, they will not appear on the final discharge document. Assessment scales that have been completed during the inpatient stay and that will be displayed on the discharge summary will appear here, including VTE risk, frailty score, and dementia delirium assessments. The assessments can be completed, if not already done so, by clicking the arrow and opening up the assessment form. The last item for doctors to complete is the discharge summary completed by. This is to confirm your contribution to the discharge summary is complete. Click the arrow and select Discharge Person Completing Record. Add your role, GMC number and contact number. Click the green tick and sign the form once completed. That is the doctor's workflow completed. The key discharge information, including the time of discharge and the discharge location, will be completed by the nurse at the point of the patient leaving. You do not need to generate a document. This will be done right at the end of the patient's stay by the nurses. On occasions where TTAs have been prescribed and already processed by pharmacy, but amendments are needed, you will need to update the TTA meds list. To do so, navigate back to the TTA meds MPage, make the necessary modifications. You will be alerted as a reminder that pharmacy has already completed the TTA and to make sure to update the TTA meds list. Click OK. Click TTA medication list. Open existing note is selected. Click Continue. Click OK to revise note. Click the refresh icon on the top right corner of the document as per the red writing instructions. Check the medication list contains your modifications. Click Sign and make sure you let a member of pharmacy know if an urgent change is required.